Right now, researchers are developing new military gear that sounds like it comes straight out of an Iron Man movie. The Army saying the high-tech armor will make soldiers nearly invincible, giving them superhuman strength, complete awareness of their surroundings, and enhanced communications. It's expected to have 360-degree cameras, sensors, listen to this, that can tell if the soldiers are wounded and then patch them up, and a bulletproof exoskeleton. But there is one problem, a big problem, the power needed to keep it all running. Joining us is retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cowan, who is now a Fox News military analyst. Good to see you this morning.
Good to be with you. Thank you, Arthel. Nice to be with you.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit more, before we get to the power issue, a little bit more about these suits, if they're built for efficiency, more safety.
Well, look, the number one issue that the soldiers are going to look at when they see a suit like this is not how better it prepares me, but how much it's going to weigh for me to carry it around on the battlefield. And I think that's where the scientists and engineers are going to have to focus a lot of attention. Certainly power is important, but you can have great situational awareness. You can have enhanced ability to protect yourself, superhuman strength, better communications. You can have all these things. But if you can't move because you've got this great big suit on you, we're really talking about the difficulty to operate in tactical situations.
Yeah, and we're showing some video there. So do you know how much this thing weighs at this point?
I don't think that they've announced any of that. I noticed that in the name they have for this, they do call it the light operator system, and there may be a reason that they're using the word light because they're trying to get everybody thinking out there that it's going to be light. But Arthel, you know, when we look at our young men and women who are trumping the hills and the fields of Iraq or Afghanistan or wherever else we may be, they're already carrying enormous loads with them. And to add a lot more stuff, it looks good, it sounds good on paper, it may look good in the laboratory or in demonstrations, but the reality is it may indeed work in some situations, but it's certainly not going to work in all situations.
And we saw the shot of the soldier on the treadmill with the light pack on, is what they're calling it. Do we know if how much they really tested it on the soldiers, both male and female soldiers?
I haven't seen anything that tells us what they've done. I'm sure they've done some testing. And, you know, scientists and engineers, I know from experience, they can tell a good story and they can get people all fired up. But the reality is this program, the suit, is whatever it comes out of this, may be many, many, many years out there before we see it fielded. We may see bits and pieces of it fielded incrementally. But the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, the first contract for that, and I realize it's not exactly the same, but it too is a high-tech system. The first contract for that was let out in 1995. It won't be fully operational for a few more years. That's 20 plus years. Really, this system, I think we're still in the earliest stages. We have a long way to go before it's really out there and fielded. And again, some pieces of it may be fielded, and I wouldn't argue that everything's not necessary, but I would argue from the perspective of somebody who has spent a lot of time hiking the mountains and fields and hills and what have you. Every little pound that's added to what I had to carry or what the future soldiers, men and women, are going to have to carry makes a big difference when you're out there engaged in battle.
And no doubt. And of course, we certainly don't want to rush anything. We don't want to do anything that would hamper the efforts of the folks on the ground there. Before I let you go, Colonel, tell me, though, wouldn't you say that the technology is a key component in war? And I'm sorry to do this, but I've got like 20 seconds.
Yeah, no question about it, Arthel. And I take no exception to them trying to develop these kinds of technologies. And the reality is, if this entire system or any components of it save one American man or woman's life on the battlefield, it's worth whatever we've had to pay for it.
Absolutely, Colonel Cowan. Thank you very much, Colonel Cowan.
Thank you.